So we're going to talk about when we draw blocks out of a bucket, the chances that we have of doing that if we have blue and red blocks. So we're going to start with one blue block in our bucket. So here's our bucket. We're going to start with one blue block in there. And if I wanted to be sure that I would pull out a blue block, how many red blocks should I put in? Okay, and if for people that want to follow along, this is grade 3 everyday math, the volume 2 workbook, page 183. If I wanted to be sure that I would pull out a blue block, how many red blocks should I put in? The answer is 0, because right now I'm sure that if I reached in to pull out a block, it would be blue. Okay, if I put a red block in, well, now I might accidentally pull out a red one, so I can't be sure. So the answer is 0 for number 1. Number 2, we're going to start with one blue block in our bucket. If I wanted to have an equal chance of taking out a red or blue, I would put in one red block, because now my chances are equal. Reach my hand in, I would pull out either a blue block, and I would also have an equal chance of pulling out that red block. So for number 2, the answer is one red block. Number 3, if I wanted to be more likely to take out blue than red, I would put in how many red blocks. So I'm going to start, this time I'm going to start with 2 blue blocks in there. 2 blue blocks in there. So if I wanted to be more likely to pull out a blue than a red, the only thing I could put in would be one red block. Okay, because now there are more blue blocks, so I'm more likely to pull out a blue, right? This time I pull out a blue, this time I pull out a blue. Let's say this time I pull out a red. So I have 2 times the chances of pulling out a blue than as I do a red. If I put in more than that, let's say I put in 2, then now I have an equal chance, so it's not more likely anymore to pull out a blue. Alright, for number 4, so the answer is one red block for number 3. Number 4, if I wanted to take out a red block about 3 times as often as a blue one, I would put in how many red blocks? So we're going to start with one blue block. If I want to take out a red block about 3 times as often, I need 3 times as many. So I know that 1 times 3 is 3. So if I put in 3 red blocks, that will give me the chances to take out a red block about 3 times as often as a blue block. So let's say I take out a blue block 1 time. These other times here I would take out red, or maybe red or red. So 1 time is a blue, 3 times is likely to be red. So you should put in 3 red blocks. Okay, that's number 4. Number 5, we're going to start with 2 blue blocks in our bucket. If I wanted to take out a red block about half as often as a blue one, I would put in how many red blocks? Well, I would put in 1, because 1 is half of 2. So if I wanted to put in, if I wanted to take out a red block half as often, and I start with 2 blue blocks, my only choice is 1. Because I find out what is half of the number that's in there, I put that number of blocks in, and now my chances of taking out a red block half the time, half the number of times of blue, is accurate. Alright, so number 5 would be 1 red block. Okay, so number 6. If I wanted to take out a red block about 1/3 of the time, I would put in how many red blocks? Well, in order for a red block to come out 1/3 of the time, I have 2 blue blocks in there right now. If I add a red block, now I have 3 blocks altogether. So one of those 3 times, I'm going to be likely to pull out a red block. So that's pulling out a red block 1/3 of the time. Okay, and then for number 7, to try this, if I wanted to take out a red block about 2/3 of the time, I would put in how many red blocks? Well, watch this. So if I put in 2 red blocks, now I can pull about half of the time, would be a red block. Well, 2/3 is bigger than a half. I know I need to put in more red blocks. If I put in a red block now, 3 out of 5 of them are red. Okay, so I know that I would do it 3/5 of the time. If I add 1 more red block though, now I have 4/6 of the time. 4/6 is an equivalent fraction to 2/3. And a way that I can group this while I have it right in the bucket is I can make groups of 3 in my bucket here. And this group, and in this group there's 1 blue and 2 reds. And in this group there's going to be 1 blue and 2 reds. Which means that I'm most likely to pull out a red block 2/3 of the time. because 2/3 of the blocks in this whole bucket are red. Okay, so for number 7, the answer is 4 red blocks.